Welcome to the Celtic Way Morning Briefing Live. You know the drill by now. I'm Tony Haggerty, Haggerty10. You can see the Twitter handle there. And I'm delighted to be joined on Friday by Alison McConnell at Alibally76, Twitter handle for Alison. Morning, Alison. How are you doing?
I'm looking for the sun, Tony. Why not? I need my washing to dry.
It looks as if you're in a darkened room there. Now, first things first, we've been doing it all week. Big shout out to our sponsor. As you can see, OneFootball. Download the OneFootball app, guys. It's your one-stop football shop for scores, news, lineups, transfer rumours, live streaming, match highlights, and much, much more. You can immerse yourself in the digital football world and get the best personal digital football experience out there. And also running along the bottom, as we always say as well, £3 for 3 months for the next 3 months. If you hit the subscribe button, join us all at the www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. So that's what you do. Hit the subscribe button and also download the OneFootball app. And we thank them for their sponsorship. I was going to say it'd be a quiet Friday as we wind down to the end of the season, Alison, but my goodness, it kind of exploded last night. Rumours of Celtic board offering Ange Postecoglou a bumper new deal after securing the title in his first season at the helm. To me, that makes sound business sense because I know that Brendan Rodgers ended up signing a 4-year deal, didn't he? After an initial 1-year rolling contract, and Celtic ended up gaining one of the highest compensation packages for a manager when he left. It's kind of £9 million in the region of. So I guess that's a kind of safeguard to secure everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, although I do wonder if you get any kind of new deal, it's not a bumper one. But yeah, I take your point. I think the 1-year rolling contract is fairly common now. I think Celtic have been using that for a long time, as do many other clubs. But I take the point. I think if you offer a new deal, a long-term deal, then you have a safety net of anyone coming in. And yeah, Celtic banked a considerable sum when Brendan Rodgers went to Leicester. And I think that just having a long-term deal like that guarantees it. I also think if a 1-year rolling contract offers manoeuvre for both parties, I think now Celtic, given the season that they've had and any doubts that might have been there over Ange Postecoglou, I think will have dissipated with this campaign. So I think Celtic will be keen just to have some security and some stability going forward for the next few seasons. And I think if there's a long-term offer on the table, it would probably make sense.
You say bumper deals, they're like transfer windows, don't they? They bang and they slam shut, don't they? And the transfer swips, isn't it? People swip to transfer and all that. It's never just a new deal. But yeah, as you say, it makes kind of sound business sense for both parties, doesn't it? To maybe get Ange around the table to talk about the future.
Yeah, I don't think there's any great need for it. Yeah. The first thing you would say is I think a 1-year rolling contract is absolutely fine. I think it probably suits everyone. But at the same time, I think if you are thinking about maybe other clubs coming in and looking, or if you just want to even reward them financially for the campaign that has been, and I think he'll have surpassed a lot of expectations, then yeah, I think it would almost be inevitable then that you could have a new deal come to the fore.
And speaking of new deals, we spoke about him yesterday briefly, but James Forrest signed a 3-year contract extension, which probably means he'll be a one-club man, Alison. We spoke about that. He's got 20 medals and he's hipper already. A wonderful servant to the club and another piece of good news for Celtic, a good piece of business.
Yeah, I think so. I think I wrote a piece about James Forrest today. I think I've made my feelings clear on here throughout the campaign. I think he has been an excellent player for Celtic. I still think he has something to offer. I have to correct myself too. Yesterday I said it was his 21st senior medal that he would collect on Saturday. It's his 20th. I think I was counting a League Cup one that he didn't feature in, so I would have to correct myself from yesterday. But I think he still has something to offer. He's 30. I think he's 31 next month. I think there's plenty of seasons left in him. It's been disappointing, I think, over the last 18 months. He's never quite been able to get himself fully fit after that very awkward ankle injury that he had that eventually required surgery. I don't think he's ever since then managed to just properly have a run in the team. So I think this summer will be huge for him in terms of getting fit and then coming back in. And I absolutely think he still has something to offer.
Yeah. A couple of comments coming in about Ange Postecoglou. Patrick McLaughlin says, glad Ange is signing on. I was watching ABC News Australia yesterday and they're chattering on about how English Teals will be watching Ange now. I mean, that's a fair comment, you know. Good morning or good evening here to your small Celtic supporters in Australia. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we're well aware now that Ange is on people's radar, isn't he, Alison, for his achievements this season?
I think it's inevitable. I think if you're a manager or a player who's successful, I think it's part of the game that other people are aware of what you do. I think real traction comes in the European arena. I think if you had a positive Champions League campaign, I think all of a sudden you really do raise your profile in that environment. But Ange Postecoglou will be just quietly satisfied just now. His season has gone particularly well. He'd always wanted to come and, as he said, manage a big club in Europe. I think he spoke very emotionally in the aftermath of the title clinching point at Tannadice on Wednesday night. I think he seems fairly settled, but I think it's a part of the game. If you're doing well, other people will be looking, and from Celtic's point of view, it would make sense to have him in a long-term contract and also even just offer, I think, a sweetener as a reward for this campaign.
Yeah. Mark Dave Cutrock says Ange has a job to do with Celtic and he wants to do it with Celtic. Fair enough. And Arthur Taylor comes in and says he thinks that Ange is with the mighty Celtic for the long haul. We will see. It'll all come out in the wash. Now, don't want to start a kind of the movie airplane style panic, but Tom Rogic spread panic amongst the Celtic rank and file last night with a cryptic Instagram post, Alison, montage of 10 pictures. One of the more poignant images being of Tom Rogic with a clenched fist salute after he'd scored the invincible goal in the 2017 Scottish Cup final. And everybody, Twitter went crazy. People saying, this is it. It's the end of the road for Tom Rogic. He's leaving. He is out of contract at the end of the season. Is this a farewell, do you think? Or is it a... Sean, I spoke to Sean off here this morning. He said he thinks it's a subtle ploy to get a James Forrest type deal, a 3-year extension.
I think it's interesting. I think social media has become a platform. It gives voice. I thought it was a bit cryptic. I thought it did seem to hint towards what you're saying. Or indeed it could just be a reminder to the club that the contract situation is still there. It's not gone away. I think it'll be interesting. Again, I do wonder whether he fancies going elsewhere. He's been at Celtic for a long time. Just wonder about the family situation, if maybe he fancies moving. But equally, I think he still has a role to play at Celtic. I think he had a very, very strong first half of the campaign in particular. I think Celtic would be keen to keep him. So it'll be interesting to see just what happens in terms of negotiations and talks, or whether or not he's already made his mind up.
I think he's had his best season at Celtic Park, to be fair. I think it's been his most consistent season. He's played the most games, and again, he has lifted the club. You know, they went back to guys like Tom Rogic this season and Callum McGregor, and people have been over the course and distance, and he steered them over the line. I thought he stood up to the plate big time this season, Tom Rogic.
I think he's had a decent campaign. I think he's had a fairly consistent season, and I think too, he obviously knew Ange Postecoglou, had a relationship with him from their time at the Australian national team, and I think obviously then that they have an understanding together. So I think it'll come down to individual choice. I'm fairly sure that Celtic would be keen to keep him. I think maybe it just comes down to whether the terms of the deal are right for him or whether he wants to play elsewhere after a decade spent in Glasgow.
Well, Preston West End comes in and says Rogic has to go. Don't know if a lot of people will share that view, but it's certainly your opinion. There you go. And we'll see what happens in the fullness of time in a few months. Now, another person making the news, Alison, Scott Brown, former Celtic skipper, captain, leader, legend, moniker. He landed his first managerial job at Fleetwood Town, League One side in the EFL. A great move for him, isn't it, to get his foot on the managerial run, because that's what he said he's always wanted to do that.
I think there'll be huge interest in how he gets on. I think it'll be interesting to see just how he copes going in and being his own man. I think you saw leadership qualities and how he played and how he conducted himself during his time at Celtic and the few months that he was at Aberdeen. And I think there's been no secret that he fancied testing himself in this environment. We're interested to see how he fares. I think in a way it will help him to be away from the spotlight that might have come if he was still in Scotland. I think there might be a bit more breathing space down south, but I'm sure there'll be ample intrigue just to keep an eye on him and see what happens. And I'm sure he would have long-term managerial ambitions of possibly going back to Celtic, of going back up to Scotland.
I would wish him all the best. Hope it turns out to be a success for him. Contributors keep coming in with Richard Celtic. Rogic keeps his cards close to his chest, always has done. If Ange wants to keep him, then he will. If not, then thanks, Tommy and G'day. Yeah, lots of people divided on Rogic, Alison. It's a big talking point, isn't it?
Yeah, I think at the minute Celtic have ample depth in the middle of the park, but I don't think you would want to lose him. I think if there was an opportunity to keep him, I think you would rather have him in the squad.
Yeah. See, it's still continuing to. Donny Boy comes in and says Rogic to stay. He'll share the position with O'Reilly next season. Then O'Reilly will be first pick season after that. Then Rogic may move on, but for now, no chance he's going anywhere. Well, two people will decide that really. Tom Rogic and Ange Postecoglou. And Alison, it's kind of slipped under the radar a wee bit, but Celtic do have one final game on Saturday to extend their domestic league run to 32 matches unbeaten. They're playing Motherwell Trophy Presentation Day. We touched upon it earlier in the week, but it's got a party atmosphere about it, isn't it? You see the fans turned up, late on Wednesday night at Celtic Park and light off fireworks. So I would imagine it will be a similar display this time in front of 60,000 people. They'll want it. The fans will just they've been waiting for this for a year. And they're going to party, aren't they?
It's an opportunity to enjoy it. It's a celebration on Saturday. I think it's a party essentially for winning the title. I think having crossed the line, there's no tension in the game. It's just an opportunity to appreciate the efforts of a title winning squad, particularly in the back of last season. And I'm sure, I think if Wednesday night was reflective of that, then I think you'll see it again on Saturday. I think it's a sellout crowd. I think people will be there just to enjoy the day, to celebrate the team and to appreciate and applaud what's gone throughout the campaign.
Do you see Celtic putting on one more show, Alison, for the supporters, turning it on?
I'm sure they'd like to. I'm sure that'll be the ambition, to go and put on a decent performance and bow out of what's been a very successful campaign on a high note. I don't think they'll want Motherwell spoiling the party. I think they'll want to make sure that it's a decent performance. Yeah,
because sometimes these occasions can go flat because the hard work's been done, as they say. But I think Celtic and Ange will want to go out with a win and also play in the style and manner that the fans have been accustomed to and the players have been accustomed to this season.
I'm sure they will. I think I thought it was a bit of an awkward game on Wednesday night at Tannadice. I thought it felt a bit odd at times. So, yeah, I think they'll want to put on a show, get a few goals and just showcase the kind of football that they've seen and displayed this season.
I think a lot of what was missing on Wednesday night was it Dundee United actually had something to play for as well, Alison. They were going for Europe, and it was just a case of Celtic turning up and rolling them over. And again, I thought there was a wee bit of nerves with Celtic as well, just finally seeing it over the line. But I think the draw suited both parties in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the most important thing for Celtic was just to get there, just to make sure that the title was won. Having done that, it creates a platform on Saturday to enjoy the occasion, to celebrate the occasion. I think if you'd said to people way back at the start of the season, after they'd lost 3 games and drawn a game that they would be lifting the championship, I'm sure your odds would have been fairly decent. I think the turnaround has been exceptional. I think you would have to appreciate the consistency and relentlessness of Celtic over the course of the domestic campaign, and I think Saturday's an opportunity for the support to enjoy that and an opportunity for the players and the manager to enjoy it.
You've been there when Celtic Park's rocking and 60,000 people get right behind it. It's a wonderful arena, isn't it? And Saturday will just be one of those days when there's an appreciation, as you said, of the management team and the players and all the staff for what they've did this season.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll all be up for it. I'm sure the supporters will want a party. I'm sure the players will want to put on a decent performance to sign off from the season. And I think largely what you'll see is a team who have formed the spine of this campaign for Celtic. I think it will be a very strong starting lineup who go out. And I think, yeah, it's an opportunity. You get very few games like this, really, in football where pressure's off. It's a chance to lift the trophy, to enjoy the moment, to savour the moment. And I think at Celtic, particularly and Rangers, where the demands are so ferocious, I'm not sure you always get that opportunity just to draw breath for a minute and enjoy it. And I think that's what Saturday does. It gives you an opportunity to celebrate the afternoon, to enjoy the atmosphere, to appreciate the fruits of your labour, if you like, and then take the break and get ready to go again.
One final question, Alison, a score prediction?
3-1.
3-1. I'm going to go 4-0. I think Celtic will bow out in style. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful season, a championship-winning season. Celtic scooped the Premiership title as well as the League Cup. And I'll just direct you once again to our sponsors. If you download the One Football app, and we say thank you to them for sponsoring the programme, the one-stop football shop for scores, news, lineups, transfer rumours, live streaming, match highlights, much, much more. You can immerse yourself in the digital football world and have the best digital football experience out there. And all I can say is thank you so much for all your comments throughout the season. We've enjoyed it. It's been absolutely fantastic covering it from start to finish. Celtic winning the title is just the icing on the cake. You know, lots of cynicism and scepticism when Ange took over, but he proved he was a real deal, Alison.
Yeah, I think I always thought it was a measure of his own self-belief that he was happy to go in and work with the existing backroom team, that he arrived himself. He was happy to carry the can himself. I thought it reflected a real strong self-belief. And I think that's been vindicated throughout the campaign. And I think he takes a bit of pleasure in knowing that, you know, there were all sorts of doubters that he's managed to prove wrong.
Indeed. Doubters like myself as well, Alison, at the very start, but just very quickly changed my tune. Now, guys, we will be with you throughout the summer. Don't know if that's good news or bad news to you, but we'll be doing a bulletin every day, 10 o'clock. You know where to come. Hit that subscribe button, £3 for the next 3 months. You join us at www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. Hope you've enjoyed our company, because we've certainly enjoyed yours. Keep the comments coming in. It's been, as I say, I said yesterday, it's been a joyful, wonderful, joyous season. You said it's been a consistent season, Alison. It's been all of the above. It's been relentless. It's been breathtaking at times, brilliant to watch. And if you're going along tomorrow, I hope Celtic put on one more final show for everybody and enjoy the party atmosphere and stay safe, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for everything during the season. We'll continue to broadcast throughout the close season, and we shall see you on Monday. Thanks, Alison, for your contribution. Always enjoy it.
Thank you.